This is ARK. It is still looking bullish. I told you guys a couple of days ago, ARK is basically a great hold, right? So but let's move on to BTC, right? So first thing first, we're going to take a look at BTC on the bigger picture. We're not going to focus on the lower degree, because the lower degree are going to just give us some noise, right? So first thing first, what I'm looking for, it is just a review of the live stream. So if you haven't watched the live stream, so this is just a review, right? So what I'm looking for, at least for the short term, right, on the high degree, 3 days and up, right? So you can see BTC made a clean 3-wave move pullback. So we got a 3-wave move pullback in this area, and we made another 3-wave move pullback in this area again, up to like a 12k range, right? So we got rejection, and then what we did next, we basically made another 3-wave move pullback. So we made another 1, 2, and 3-wave move pullback. So if you take a look at it, this entire move itself, it is a W. So we made 3, 3, 3, and then made a clean W on the high degree. And I mentioned it multiple times. Okay, so what I'm looking for, at least for the short term, right? So I'm looking for basically at least to complete another flat correction. This move it is already like expanded. So I'm looking for this move. All right, we got this 3-wave move pullback. That's clean 3-wave move pullback. We already talked about it like basically you know, a few months back, right, when we got that 10-5 run up. So and then we got this 3-wave move pullback, right? So what I'm looking for, this could be a flat correction where we got like a 3, 3, and 5, and then we have to find the 5-wave move, 5-wave impulse, the 5-wave impulse right to the upside. That's what we making. That's what we basically making right now, at least for the short term. So one of the reasons why I'm not extremely bullish is like until we break this area of a 10, 5, 11 area range, and then you know, basically break 12k range, we could invalidate this move. But as of now, this is a 5-way structure. We got 3, 3, and 5, and you guys know a flat correction. So if you're familiar with a flat correction, you can get a very expanded flat correction where you got your 3-way move up, 3-way move down, and then you got your 5-way move to the upside, right? So at least for the short term, it seems like that's what we got in this area. So I would be very careful, you know, in just about like you know, 97 to 99 range, right? 97 to 99 range, you know, basically for a possible you know, trend reversal. So I would not be long in it above like a, you know, 10k. Okay, I would not be looking for a long, at least for the short term. If I'm looking for a long, it's just like this area of a 95 to 98 range. Okay, any entry in this area, it is a good entry. All I'm gonna do is just hold it all the way up to like all the way up to basically some area of resistance. If like we get this area invalidated, you just hold it. Okay, like let's say we're calling for a bull run, you just hold your, you know, just hold your short, right? But I wouldn't be comfortable, right, long in BTC above like a 10k, even at 10k. All right, I would not be comfortable. But mid 9500 range, a long and a hold, you know, it could be a very, very juicy move, right? And another thing, like let's say most trader basically got a long position like from like you know, 9k to 9700 range. Most likely they're not going to close their position above like you know, 10k and trying to look for another long position. The best thing to do, most likely, it is like just to hold the position all the way up to like the top. The top could be like a 20k, right? So but most people not gonna be holding a position all the way up from you know, 8k to 20k. But you know, some traders, they pretty much very confident, and then basically could be holding a position that long. But it is pretty much very clean. Another thing I just wanted to talk about also, like we're about to get a great not a great, but a very high volume. Okay, this volume, this area, it is bullish, like this trend line. It could be very bullish depending what type of volume we're gonna get, right? So basically volume is decreasing, price is going up. You could also look at it as a basically a bullish setup. Okay, I've seen it before when basically price was basically going down. I mean, price was going up back in 2019, right? You can see, you know, price price was going up, right? But volume was declining until we got this big rejection. But the difference between that move and this move is like this one is more like it is stronger. Okay, the uptrend is basically stronger, and you could argue like we could be getting, it could be a red volume also, right? I'm 60% bearish, but I'm gonna take the, you know, I'm looking for the positive direction, which is like go with the trend, but the overall structure I'm not convinced yet. All right, I'm not convinced until we basically break 12k, right? But I would not open a long position basically above 10k without like a, you know, any confirmation, stuff like that, right? So a long position below you know, 10k is more suitable than a long position above 10k. Just to recap what we basically talked about regarding the during the live stream, right? So let's take a look at the weekly time frame. The weekly time frame, it is looking juicy. You can see like how the volume also declining, right? So it means like volatility going to be very, very high within the next few days. Okay, low volume, high prices. Always look, you know, look for a breakout. Okay, the breakout, if we in a, you know, in a very, very strong uptrend, that we could get like a 25% breakout. Okay, 20 up to 25% breakout, just like what we did back then, right? You can see just about this area on the volume. So okay, you can see like a volume basically, you know, been declining, and price just been you know, moving to the upside, right? Most people have been bearish like just about this area. Last year I was extremely bullish. Okay, I was pretty much 99% bullish when BC was making this move, and I was like, we're gonna get a very, very big volume, and that volume gonna start the bull market, right? So we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna get but this time I'm more like a bearish than basically bullish. But if we get this 25% move, right, either direction, is going to define the trend. All right, it's going to define the trend. Right now, even though I'm bearish, I'm bearish, I'm still going to be very cautious regarding this big breakout coming up very, very, very soon, guys. It's coming up, guys. So let's just pay attention to it. It's not going to be like a 5% move or 7% move. It could be like a 18 to 25% move. So we just have to be very, very careful regarding like how we look at the market. So let's take a look at the monthly time frame. Pretty much very incredible. The monthly time frame, I did not talk about something very, very special regarding like 1.27 and 1.41. If you take a look at the 1.27 and 1.41, I talked about it multiple times since like August, September, and I give you guys warning, and I say like whenever you break a descending triangle or like any type of a corrective move, look for what? Look for 1.41 to 1.27, and even if you go back and back test it, right, on the high degree, it doesn't matter which time frame you're using, but on the high degree, it looks clean, right? On the monthly time frame, you can see we retested, we bottom out at where 1.27 and 1.41. okay, it is incredible, right? So what I'm looking for, at least for the short term, you can see basically since like we made the same structure, this descending you know, this descending channel, right? So you can see like if we're gonna be if like we're gonna break it, all right, if I don't expect us to break it in within the next few weeks, right? But if we're going to be breaking it in the near future, we could be looking for the same exact move, which is like a look for 1.27 to 1.41, which is like roughly around like a 4,500 to like a 5,100 range. Okay, so it is still not, you know, it is still not the bull market until basically we break like certain key levels, and then I basically start to look for like you know, higher prices, right? So I'm gonna be extremely careful. Anything above 10k, you know, I'm just gonna be very, very careful, right, regarding anything above 10k. Also at the same time, even if you take a look at the breakout we got like from 10k range last year, we talked about it, right? We said what, take a look at it from swing low, because the correction support was like roughly 9k, and you take a look at it from 14k to 9k, you do your swing low to swing high. Okay, this one we caught it live. Okay, we caught it live. What we said we're gonna be bottoming right around this area of 1.27 to 1.41. okay, not just that, right, not just that, but when we basically when we basically broke like a 7800, 72 to 74 was basically our target. And you can take a look at it from swing low to swing high. We look for 1.27 to 1.41. So this one we caught it like live also. So what I'm looking for at least for the short term, just to recap the video, I'm looking for a strong resistance, right? Sometime very soon. It doesn't have to be 10k, okay? It doesn't have to be 99, but 99 to 10k. Even if we break it, right, at some point, right, if the bulls come up with like a strong strong rejection, we could be facing like a big sell-off, right? But if the bulls basically want to convince us like it is time to go to the moon, they're gonna come out with a big breakout with a basically at least 18 to 20% move. Okay, I would say like 18 to 20% move on a weekly basis, right? So we could get it next week. Okay, 18 to 20% move, right? I mean, it's not 100% guarantee we're gonna get it, but that's what I'm basically looking for, some type of a breakout like what we got last year, just like this move. We don't have any sort of resistance, right? The only resistance right now we got is about like 10,000 to 10.5. It's not much, okay? Basically can easily break it and hit like 12k if like we get get enough volume, right? So at the same time, on the 3-day chart, something very incredible, okay? So on the 3-day chart last year, if you go back and check your 3-day chart, right? So we basically got a beautiful divergence. We made a beautiful divergence, right? In this area, right? We got from this low to that area. You can see we got this divergence, and we push to the upside almost like 50%. Not quite yet, not quite, but we did get this 49% move, 50% move, right? We did push 50%, but take a look at the divergence we got again. We got another clean divergence, right? Double bottom, clean, very clean divergence. And then what next? We got this move, right? We got this 50%, 52 almost, right? We just hit like 53% move, right? But you got the concept, right? The concept is like we just basically these 3 days of divergence, we just have to respect it. So just like the 2-day divergence before, we got it also that pump to the upside from that 40% pump, like from 72, 73 all the way up to 10.5. We had like a 2-day divergence. Now we got a 3-day divergence. So what I'm looking for in the near future is like a 4 to 5. I'm looking for the 5-day divergence actually, right? Next, okay, the 5-day divergence is gonna give us a big sell-off, right? So it means like at least for the short term, okay, I meant to make it very short. We're gonna have to drop, okay, push back up and drop and make some sort of divergence in this area, because basically we're gonna need we're gonna need the MACD to do something like this. And the only way we can make the MACD to do something like this is like price gonna have to drop, and it has to push back up, right? It doesn't have to necessarily like drop rapidly again, but it could move sideways before dropping and let the basically MACD to give us another crossover on the 5-day chart, right? Before basically looking for any before we look for any further push to the upside. And like I said, if we're gonna get this divergence, right, and we're gonna be looking for 1.27 to 1.41, which is like this area of a swing low to swing high, right? So we could get the 1.27 to 1.41, which is like a 51 to like a roughly around like a 46 range. So in this range we could, okay, absolutely, right, you could drop, push back up, drop down in this area and get some sort of divergence in this area, and then MACD gonna look like this, right? A nice basically curvature move, and then we could be looking for some further further uptrend to the upside, right? Some further move to the upside and start the bull market. But we will see how it goes. But market is currently bullish, so let's just call it bullish until we get the rejection I'm looking for within the next few weeks, or the big push I'm looking for within the next few weeks also, right? So at least for the short term, that's what I see. So let's go back to ARK, right? I didn't mean to talk about ARK, but ARK is looking juicy. So ARK is just about 2150 right now. When we started talking about ARK was like 1800. So it is moving above 200 EMA on the 3-day chart, and I'm looking for 100 EMA just to basically reject the price, which is like a 4500, okay, roughly 4500. I don't think it's gonna retest it like quickly. It could be a big pop, 24-hour move, but let's see. Okay, this area of a correction, which is like August, July 2019, going to be a good good area to take profit. And the next area to take profit, it is going to be like roughly around like May 2019, right? June, May 2019, right? So, but the highest I expect ARK to go is like just to go back retest like 23,000 sats. I don't expect it to do it like within the first quarter, but at least for the short term, we could get a very impulse wave, just like ICX. If you guys follow my channel, I talked about ICX back in October, November, right? Actually November, and I was like, accumulate ICX and ADA. Especially when the ICX was like 13-11 cents. I was basically saying like ICX has a potential of a 200% move to the upside, right? So ARK has a potential has even a higher potential than ICX, basically, right? At least for the short term. They all move together, right? They all move together. ARK, WANCHAIN, AION, and ICX, right? So it is something like you just have to remember if you basically looking for the next alt season. You know how to basically compare these coins, right? All right, guys, that's all I wanted to cover today. Hopefully you guys stay safe out there, enjoy the profits, enjoy the volatility, and then make sure to join our public Telegram group if you wanna basically join our premium member for daily analysis, price target, altcoin, basically target, and all of that. Make sure to basically join our send me a message, and I'm gonna send you the link to the Discord channel, right? Thanks a lot for watching, guys.